Hey everyone, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us for our Saturday team call. And I'm super pumped because we have Miss Heather Soloman with us. Ooh, ooh. So I'm going to go over our announcements. Thank you, Hillary, for telling me how to live my life. So Pure Perks are done in 2 days. So we have 2 days left. And same with the mystery gift. If your preferred clients are going to get the Arbonne Special Value Pack, the nutrition, the 30-day kit. Our Carlsbad Mercedes DA is this Monday, so 2 days, 7 p.m. Round up all your guests. Make sure to check the team Facebook page for updates on GTC. So we're kind of squealing and giggling about rooms, travel arrangements, tickets, sales we see, like sales that are happening on flights. So Valentine's Day is next month. So start taking pre-orders, call all the husbands, girlfriends, wives that have options for like baskets so you can like be nice to people and spoil them on Valentine's Day. So Ruth and Sarah will train on that special next week. Every Tuesday in our Going Live Facebook page, we talk about the 30 days. And then every Thursday in the Going Live page is our Discover Arbonne. We have a DA. So that's all Hillary can think of. And that's about it. So if you have any questions, post them up on the Facebook page. We're super excited. And I'm going to introduce Miss Heather Soloman. So last month, Christy reached out to all the area managers to take a Saturday call. And we're like, yes, girl, we would love to help you because go have a baby and like life and stuff. So all the area managers are in charge of one Saturday call, and I have today. So I wanted to have a sweet little Tori Brandt as my special guest. At the same time, they are in Maui on the MVP trip, and we'll be there sooner than later to sass them. So I obviously asked her to throw someone under the bus who she loves, and she's like, you would love Heather. I'm like, we're already best friends. And I'm super excited too because she also has like glorious arms, and I'm all, nice, I like this. Another athlete. Yeah, girl, I stalked you on the internet. It's fine. So we're super excited to have you. We can't wait to hear your inspirational bits and to chat with us for about 10 minutes. Thanks, girl. You're on.
Okay, so 10 minutes. Got this. I'm going to make this quick. So one of the things that, one of the things that she had asked me to kind of talk about was how I got to Region, right? Kind of like what kind of pushed me there. So first of all, I live in Iowa, so most people don't even know where that is. They just know that it's a flyover state, and then you get to Chicago by going over it when you're coming from California. And so we don't have a huge influx of Arbonne here, so I had really not had heard of it at all when I went to a cocktail party in Montana and met Tori Brandt. And you guys, this is not something that I ever thought, and you hear it all the time. This is not something, you guys, I ran from people. Like I ran from Tori. She told me she did Arbonne. I was like, I gotta go. She thought I was just being coy. I wanted to get away, okay? So the thing is that you guys, so to give you a little bit about me, I'm married to the best husband, but he's a physician. So he has a very, very successful practice. I have 2 amazing kids. I'm a rock star mom, an amazing wife. Just ask me, right? But I barely graduated high school. Okay, so taking you back, like there was this huge part of me that from the inside looking out, or from the outside looking in, everything looked like really put together, right? We've got this great family. My husband does really well. But everybody I surrounded myself with, hold on, I get so dry when I talk. Everybody we surrounded ourselves with had an MD, a PhD, an ABC, a DEF. They had something, right? And for me, I felt small, right? So that was the missing component for me. So Tori didn't badger me. She didn't do any of that kind of thing. But she did give me a sample of a protein shake. I loved it. I bought some. I became a customer. My daughter is a very competitive athlete, and so she's a gymnast, and she liked it, took it to the gym. Little girls liked it. You guys, I sold 5 bags by accident. It wasn't, I just, they called me, where do you get this? And so I just gave it to them, and so it was funny just how Tori just asked me, have you ever thought about doing something like this? And I hadn't, right? I had never thought about doing something like this. And so why do people not do this business? It's just simply because nobody asked them if they thought about it. What we do is we hint, right? We do a lot of hinting. We're like, if any of you have kids, or you know what a kid is, or you've heard of them, right? You know that in the grocery store line, they'll stand there and they'll go, oh my gosh, that chocolate bar looks so good, right? I bet it would be so yummy and so wonderful, and I wouldn't even get it on the car seats. But they don't ask you, they hint. So what do we do as parents? We ignore them, because that's what we're designed to do, right? Ignore that question. Until they say, Mom, can I have that chocolate bar? Now you got to answer them, right? So you guys think about that. Are you actually asking, or are you hinting? So when I started my business, I was hinting a whole lot. I was like, you would be so great at this. Like, we would have so much fun, all this stuff. So I sat as a district manager for about 8 or 9 months until I decided to actually ask the same question that Tori asked me. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? And then you zip it and you shut up, right? So that they have a chance to answer. So all of a sudden I went to area really fast when I actually started asking that question, because people actually thought about it, right? And so, but you guys, then I got to area and I sat there for another 6-7 months, and I was pretty upset because I felt like this broken down area, right? And we had this training call, and this was the biggest thing that happened for me. Is we went to an area retreat in Montana, and I was trying to get regions so bad. And you guys, we had to write on the top of our paper, your whole team. You had to write it up, like do the map. You guys, I forgot a notebook, so I only had 1 piece of paper, so I couldn't throw it away when I was disgusted with what my team looked like, okay? So I wrote it. There was me at the top, and then I had like a couple little legs that were doing absolutely nothing, but I was excited that I got to write them down. And then she said, I want you to cross out every single person who's not doing a consistent 2,500 every month. So the only person I kept on that page was me, right? Because I was the only one doing the 2,500. And I just remember being like, wow, I don't have a team. And the woman sitting next to me pointed to my paper and she goes, no, look, you do. Right there, a team of 1. You started, now finish. You guys, that kicked me in the butt. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I can do this. So what I had done is I had actually gotten really complacent, and I was trying so hard to like pull these people, like so hard. I'm like, come on. Like, my belief in them was bigger than their why and what they wanted. And so I literally just loved them where they were at and gave them what they needed. But I dug in hard and I started asking that question again. Like, have you ever thought about doing this? Right? And I just got into massive activity. That month I hit like 11,000. I was a consistent 11 to 16,000. Couldn't figure out how you would ever actually bonus as an area. Like, that seemed completely illogical. Like, how could you ever get 20,000, right? But you guys, seriously, it went from me asking that question to just building that momentum, teaching other people to ask that same question. I went from like, it was really crazy. We went region in about 5 months from there. We went like from 11,000. It was the first time the next month I didn't hit qual, but I was working so hard. It didn't matter. Everything showed up just a little bit later. So I didn't hit qual or maintenance. The next month I hit like 9,500 or something like that. But then I hit 22, and then I hit 25, and then I hit 22, and then I hit 46. You guys, it just happened because I went into massive activity. So I tell people, you think about this for just a second. How many people do you have on the 30-day program, right? How many people are overweight and don't love how they feel inside their own skin? Do you think that happened in a day? Do you think they got overweight like last week? No, it was everyday little choices that got them exactly where they are today, right? But what do they want? Instant results. They want to drop those 500 pounds in 3 days, and if they don't see those results, they quit. So what are you doing in your business? Are you yo-yo R-bonding, just like they're yo-yo dieting? Are you working really hard for 3 days and then like taking off because you just didn't see your numbers hit? Well, that work hard part is where it all shows up 30, 60, and 90 days later. And so you guys, this business is worth it. I'll tell you, this is the thing that kept me going. When I decided to do this business, I literally said to my daughter, who was 12 years old, so I was like, do you think I should do this? I'm like, I don't know, right? Like, should I do this? And she said to me, you've always told me I could do anything I put my mind to. Show me. You guys, first I figured out she was listening and I was like, damn it, you know? But every single time it got hard, and it does, and it will continue to, right? Because having great success is all uphill, right? It's like having great success is work. It's work. But every time it got hard, I had to think, what am I showing my daughter? Am I showing her that if it gets hard, you quit? I'm like, I can't do it. So right here in front of all of you, I'll tell you that I'm a regional vice president, okay? I don't have a nation team right now. But my daughter will be 18 in December and starts her business in December. And you know what she said to me? This little girl just gets me. She said, my first GTC will be that following year. Wouldn't it be cool if I watched you walk the stage as a nation? So here we go again, right? So you guys, there it is. I'm like, now I know what I have to do again, because we all get someplace and then we get complacent and we stop. So it's like no more complacency, no more yo-yo R-bonding. You've got to decide if this is worth it. You've got to decide if your goals and your dreams are worth it, because from this girl who barely graduated from high school to where I am now is two different people. And my kids are like, you found your inner lion. You guys, find your inner lion. Show everyone around you your roar. Let them hear how loud it is. And go kick some butt, right? So, was that 10 minutes?
Ish. Yeah, you're perfect. You want to like you're wonderful. Just keep going, girl. Like we're all like chatting.
I could go for hours. Nobody's ever told me that I have a lack of words. Like I could go for 5 hours. Trust me. So.
No, you're perfect. Like again, all of us. Like if you jump into the comment section, we're like, oh my God, preach! Oh my God, you're speaking to us. I promise you. So thank you. You're wonderful. Oh, and then if you can text me your mailing address, because we want to write you little thank you cards.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, you guys, here's the thing. I started this business for shoes. That's all the bigger my vision was. I thought, you know how everybody thinks you have to have this huge why, right? I didn't have one. I just thought shoes would be great where my husband wasn't mad when they came to the door, right? And so, because I live in Iowa, so there's nowhere to shop.
Okay.
So I had to order them. But it took a bit for me to realize what I was capable of.
Yeah.
But what I did, so it doesn't matter if you're like, I just don't know what my why is. Dig in. It'll come. When you figure out who you really can become, it just gets bigger than ever. Like, that's the biggest thing. So.
Love it. Hey, so we have about 5 minutes for a little like Q&A with you. Sure. So, Hillary, do you want to unmute everybody, or does someone want to type in a question?
I'm unmuted if that's okay. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
How are you? Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm sure my team is loving the analogy of the chocolate bar and also the yo-yo R-bond dieting. I know that struck a couple chords with everybody. So a question I would love to have answered, because we had a guest speaker last week and you actually touched on quite a bit of the same points, because I think what's so great about this is we try to sometimes overcomplicate what we need to do. And it literally comes down to the gosh darn, just get your butt moving, right? So, and she also said it started with us, even if it was a single team. I remember being a single team. I remember being in the meetings by myself and looking around and being like, someday I will fill this whole section, you know? Like it started as one. But my question is, how did you get all the activity you personally needed to move from district to area and area to region, especially living in such a rural place in Iowa?
Well, here's the thing. There's people everywhere, right? So it doesn't matter how big your town is. It doesn't matter. And I have a car. And so that really works well for me. So essentially, I called my girlfriends. When I first started out, I called my girlfriends and I asked them all if they would just help me out. I'm like, listen, this might be the craziest darn thing you've ever heard, but because I like to just state the facts right up front, like this might be the craziest thing you've ever heard, but I just started my own business. Can you help me out? Like, can you just grab a few people, like 3 to 5, but they have to be people I don't know. You guys, I knew my warm network would support me for a minute, but I knew they weren't going to support me long haul. And so I had to get into other networks ridiculously fast. And so that's what I did. In fact, I have 2 friends that are twin sisters and are joined at the hip. And I had them each have a separate workshop because they were like, oh, I'll get my sister. I'm like, too late, I already got her. Like, you know, so I just filled my calendar. And I did a lot of one-on-ones. I literally just did a lot of one-on-ones. I love my gold bag. I've got one sitting right here. I'm always like, you want to try this? You know, just 3 to 4 days. But you guys, this is just easy. You just hand it to somebody. They try it for 3 to 4 days. You set up an appointment to get it back and you make the sale, right? It's that simple. I also just went into it with intention. So when it doesn't matter what I'm doing, I'm looking at it as it's already happened, right? I'm not going into it. People smell fear, right? Like everybody knows when you're not confident. I just faked it. My very first sale I ever made, I had no idea how to figure out how much it cost. And she was like, okay, how much do I owe you? And I'm like, I have no idea. I'm like, can I just get your credit card? Because you'll just give that to me, right? And I'll call you later with a total because I have to call Tori and figure out what I just did. And she just thought it was funny, you guys. I just had fun with it. So I filled my calendar, and the more fun you're having, the more fun this is and the more success you'll have. When you're sitting around and going, ugh, I don't know what to do. And here's the biggest thing. I can't meet anybody sitting in my office. Nope, I can't. So every time I'm out and about, I'm super approachable. I talk to people. I talk to strangers. You're an adult. You can talk to strangers now. And so we're not children, right? So my rule was always if they're your size or the same age, you can talk to them, right? So you can talk to big people. But so I just literally am on a mission always to just put more people into my calendar, and I still am. So when things started to slow down, I had to look at it and go, what am I personally doing? Because everyone on your team will emulate what you do. You cannot ever get into a position where you're like, okay, I've built a district and now I have one. And then you focus so hard on that one person doing what they're supposed to do. Never will work. And when somebody quits, I want you to think about this. Have you ever quit a job? Like ever in your life? Do you think HR went in the back room and cried? No, they just went and they grabbed the next file and they said, who do we got to hire? You guys, that's what we do. And the reason my central district is so large is because when people do decide to quit, I just make it really easy. I don't make them feel bad. I don't make them feel anything other than when you're ready, if you ever are ready to come back in, it's here. Otherwise, just enjoy these products. And I treat them like my best customer. And so I have an enormous central district because I have so many people that quit because it just wasn't the right time or it wasn't the right fit, but they love R1. So I never want them to stop using it. So I go on forever. So did I answer that question even?
Yes, it's so funny. We can go back and forth with a million questions because that's perfect. I actually have 2 more that came up before. When you were going area and you were going region, 2 questions. Number 1, was it messy in terms of activity? Because I think people have this idea of it's going to be, I'm going to have this many events and this many drop kits and this many this. And people ask me, how do you keep track of everything? And my calendar looks like crazy. And I literally just write down people's names on the side. And I just try to fill as much stuff as I can. It's messy. It's not organized. And I think sometimes people think it's going to be perfectly organized. And it's just not. And unless it is with you, I don't know. And how many people did you think you talked to on a monthly basis when you were moving into promotion direction?
Well, that second one's a good one. The first one, was it messy? It was ridiculous. It was so I've always been able to sell a lot of product. Okay. So that's always just been, I just get it out. I take care of my customers well. They have stayed with me for a long time. So that part of it, I could DM bonus on my own, right? So that was just me hustling and getting out in front of people. And then when I went area, it got busier because I was helping other people get to district, right? And so I was like, okay, I was like sticking with them. It's not like 2 launches and I'm out, now you know how to do this, right? It's like literally like you got to stay with these people. Sometimes people don't know what they're doing until they get like to district or to area. Like they still don't know. You guys, I have to tell you, I did Arbonne wrong all the way to area manager. So Tori had scripts and I saw Genius facial script and I thought, I'm not touching anybody's face. I never opened it. I never did it. I made this stupid Prezi. I'm like, you should buy a lipstick. You should buy, but I did it to enough people. You guys, it was the dumbest thing in the world, but I did it all the way so I screwed up all the way to area, but I still got there because I did enough of it, right? And so, but going from area to region, when it started to hit, like I remember sitting there looking at my numbers and getting 25,000. Okay, what do I need? Instead of me thinking, gosh, 40 seems so big, I hit 25 and some change. I just need 14 and change, right? So I just kind of did it another way. So what does 14 and change look like? So for me, 14 and change could have looked like a couple more districts. Now I don't want to pull from what I already had, right? I needed new 14 and change. So I had to build that. You guys, I just happened to sponsor a very good friend of mine who I never asked before. And she did 14 and change in a month. And so, but she literally asked every single person she knew. She was like, she didn't even talk about the product. She was just, so I was launched, she started 5 people that month, okay? She was new, I had 5, and I had 3 new myself. You guys, my immune system got so broke down. I had a cold sore, I got sick, and I was telling everybody that I was on antibiotics and it was okay, I wasn't contagious anymore. I'm like, because I was doing presentations like this, I couldn't even talk. But we went region. Like it just, when it happens, like all of a sudden the activity gets, and you've got to go with it. You've just got to ride that wave because those are exciting times. It was so exciting. How many things in your adult life do you get to actually push for? Like we don't ever, like you go to work every day and you're like, all right, like I'm going to do my job. I'm going to go from 8 to 5. I'm going to clock out. And maybe you have some really rewarding things. Maybe you're taking care of people, but do you have this massive goal that you actually get to push for where if I do this, I get paid this, or if I do this, I can help somebody else get paid this. So you got to ride those waves because they come and go, right? And so when they're there, you've got to just enjoy it. So no, it was ridiculously messy. But it was awesome. Like I can't wait for it to get messy again. This is essentially what I'm looking forward to. And then how many people did I talk to? I have to be honest, I've never actually tracked that, but I can tell you that's something I was actually just Tori and I talked about that yesterday, just kind of like really, really getting huge on tracking that. But I will tell you, if I was doing 5 presentations a month, that's at least 25 people there, right? There was days that when I was going region, that I would have 2 to 3 one-on-ones in one day. To me, that was a party, right? That's 3 people. But I was really efficient when I had them stacked, right? So I was just like, and I had all my stuff in my bag. I would do a workshop in the morning and in the evening because everything was set up. Like I loved doing that way. That way I had everything. I just moved food, did it. It was all done in one day. But I was probably talking to a good 30 to 40 people every single month when I was really hustling. And then when you get there, just don't take your foot off the gas, because I know I did. And then I was like, yeah, we're here. And then you got to build that momentum back up again, so, but yeah, so I think it's just a ridiculous amount. My calendar was so full and I was doing the same thing. Name. I would put all these names down and all I needed to do is get the name from here onto my calendar, from here onto my calendar. So how do you do that? Right. And I didn't send out these like, hi, I'm going for regional vice president and we are a health and wellness company and blah, 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 blah. I'd be like, hey, I got a bottle of wine with your name on it. Like, let's grab some girls. I've got some skincare. We're going to have a night. Do you want Tuesday or Thursday? You guys, I spoke like it was actually coming out of my mouth. And I still do that. So I black out when somebody sends me this really long thing. I'm like, here's the thing. I just got one. That was my phone. And it literally started out, hey, you'd be great at this. I only need one more distributor to sign up yet this month. You guys, where is that about me at all? You know, I was like, she hasn't looked at Facebook. she doesn't know I don't need this. She doesn't know anything about me clearly, right? So you guys don't send those really long things where people black out halfway through and then don't read it. Oh, and here's my biggest tip I tell my team when it comes to messaging people. I know I'm going way over, but if you send a message to someone.
Keep going, girl. It's fine. Keep going.
If they don't answer you, right, they don't get back to you, what do? We internalize and be like, oh my gosh, I'm bugging them. This is awful. I just assume that they dropped their phone in the toilet and their phone is in a bag of rice, okay? So they haven't got my message yet, essentially is what's happening. So I just go back and I always go, hey, I know you're super busy. Did you get my message? And they always get back to you. See, now I got off topic. So,
honey,
that was perfect. You answered the questions, and I just wanted to tell you, so you know, 2 to 3 people a day for a one-on-one is 60 to 90 people just for one-on-ones, and then 25 people for events. So you were talking to about 80 to 100 people a month, telling them the full story about Arbonne when you were moving. So just so that gives everybody kind of an idea, which means you probably reached out to a lot more than that.
yeah.
So just so you know, you were doing 80 to 100 people a month.
I'm a champion.
You are.
Oh, that's fun. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I never really looked at it, but if I went back to my calendar and looked at it, it was so torn up. Like it was just torn up, and I had to find ways. And you guys, this is the thing, like people would say, like, can you like get together for a one-on-one or whatever? And they would literally go, I'm having I have a pedicure in the morning, and then I have like my hair at 5, so my day's booked. And I look at that and I just laugh because I'm like, you guys, like I can book out hour to hour and I can be ridiculously productive. And I want to be, because I have such massive goals that, and once we go nation, I'll continue to have those massive goals, because my goal is to make sure that everybody knows what this feels like. Like I love the recognition I get from Arbonne. I love the fact that 4.5 years ago when I started this business, do you think my family would get on a Zoom to listen to hear what I had to say? Absolutely not. But you guys are like all here and you actually want to hear what I have to say. And that's crazy talk, right? So I want everyone to know what that feels like. And so it's not just about a title and it's not just about the paycheck, but what you get when you get these titles is you've obviously created a lot of great things in the way. So just build each other and you'll go.
Heather, you're perfect. Thank you so much for spending your morning with us. We totally appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yay. All right, cool. So that concludes our morning inspirational awesome stuff. And I let her run over because, I mean, she's lovely. I mean, you can listen to me blab about mascara any other time. It's fine. Or go look at the product sheet. Nobody needs that. It's fine. So the other thing I got the text message about for updates, we do have the Kendra Scott Challenge monthly. So whoever sponsors the most within our team, minimum is 5. You get a sparkly little piece of Kendra Scott. We do have our Champions Breakfast. There's the Backpack Challenge held by corporate, which all of us are going to win because it's super easy. We do have the Grab Bag GTC ticket, Christy. That one I don't know.
I just wrote grab your ticket because it's going to sell out.
Got it. Go to GTC.
Get your ticket, hurry. Yeah.
Like, wait, what's this thing I don't know about?
Right. And those people who are new, who are on the Zoom, who don't know what GTC is amazing and you have to go. And if you're serious about working your business, right, Heather, you can just give me a nod. You will not miss GTC. Because I have never in my history of Arbonne ever seen a VP that has made it to VP not going to GTC. So you absolutely have to go. And my daughter is asking me no questions about eating candy. No, you may not have candy. I love you. You have to go to GTC. It's something that's mandatory. And when I say mandatory, we don't mean if you don't go, we're mad at you. It's just if you don't go, you're crazy, basically is the gist, right? Because You have to go to get the inspiration. Mel Robbins is speaking. She's the one who wrote the 5-second rule. Oh my gosh. Randa Bertram is speaking. She spoke 2 years ago when she took over for Cecilia Stoll. She's incredible. You guys, like, you're going to walk out of that room with so much vision that if you don't go, you're really doing yourself a major disservice, major for your business. And your team won't go if you don't go. So you will not grow. That is just how it goes. So I'll let, I know Heather, do you want to say something about that?
I do, because actually I have a new consultant on my team, and I said, hey, are you signed up for GTC? And which I already know the answer because I can see it. And she said, she's like, no. And her husband was standing right there. And I just got done with the DA. And she's like, you know what, Heather? She's like, I have 3 little kids. I'm like, oh, that's right. I forgot that all the people that go to Arbonne don't have a job in our child list. I totally forgot that part. I'm like, sorry.
I love you.
And she just looked at me. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, but if you want this to be a business, you have to treat it like a business. So we'll see. Hopefully she goes. So that was it.
Perfect. All right, girl. You're lovely. Thank you so much for everything. Christy, is that it? We're good? Got it? All right. Love your faces. Have an awesome weekend. Bye, babes.